Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, Danot Panna. Today I have been asked to present a brief summary of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Prayers by Queen Kinti and Parikshit Saved. Before the presentation, I bow to all my I bow to all my Siksha Guru and the lotus feet of Diksha Guru. My humble obeisance to lotus feet of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and His Holiness Srila Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And His Grace Namo Nishtadas Prabhuji, he is the spiritual master of our online education. And Her Grace Rasadagni Radhika Mataji and His Grace Mohandas Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantim Randhasya Gyananjan Salakya Chakshrum Lintam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama Sri Chat Om Tatsat. In this Chapter 8, the Canto 1, Chapter 8, Queen Kinti offers heartfelt prayers to Lord Krishna, teaching that difficulties can help us remember and fully depend on God, just as a child naturally calls for its mother in danger. The chapter also teaches that Krishna lovingly protects his devotees and every steps, and real peace comes not from material comfort, but from devotion, humility, and constant remembrance of him. In that, in this coming here in this when that verse 1.89 says, Uttara just Uvacha, Pai Pai Mahayogin, Deva Deva Jagatpate, Nanyat Tvad Abhyam Pasye, Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Uttara glorifies Lord Krishna because he immediately protects the unborn Parikshit Maharaj when Aswasthama reached the Brahmastra weapon. It means that Krishna is the supreme protector of his devotee, and sincere surrender to him brings safety even in the most dangerous situation. Abhidravti mam isasastapasya viho kamam dehtu mamnatha mame garvo nipatyam. Queen Kunti says that although Krishna is beyond material nature and invisible to ordinary people, he mercifully appears before his devotee out of love. The verses teaches us that God cannot be understood simply by material intelligence, but he becomes revealed to those who approach him with pure devotion and humility. 1.18 says, 1.8.18, Kunti vacha namaste purusham tvadyam iswaram prakrite parama alaksham sarvbhutanam antarbhair avasthitam. Queen Kunti remember always Krishna repeatedly because he saved the Pandavas from deadly dangers such as poison, fire, powerful enemies, and war. So here the lesson coming to us is devotees should always remain grateful to Krishna, recognizing his unseen protection in every difficulty of life. And the most popular verses is Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nand Gopkumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Queen Kinti glorifies Lord Krishna as the original supreme person who exists both within and beyond the entire creation. The verse teaches that although Krishna appears like an ordinary human, he is the supreme Lord, and wise people learn to see his divine nature through devotion and spiritual. Nama Pankaj Nabhaya, Nama Pankaj Maline, Nama Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankanjangreha. Once again, Queen Kunti says that Krishna performed wonderful pastime to attract conditioned souls back to him and to spread his glories throughout the world. Hearing about the Lord's divine activities purifies the heart and awakens devotion in sincere listener. And the Queen Kunti always remembering Krishna because she wants calamities. When calamities comes to us, always Krishna will come and protect her. Vipda santuta sasvata tatrat jagat guru bhavto darshanam yatsyada apnar bhav darshanam. And when Lords comes, then when we see the Lords, there is no question of coming this material world. Janvasya suti srivar edman pamad puman navhartya vidhatum vai tam akincham gocharan. Here, Queen Kunti says that with high birth, wealth, learning, and beauty, these four makes a person proud and pride, blocks the heart. Krishna reached only by the Ankinchan, the one with nothing to claim, stripped of false identity. The soul stands open and ready. Materially, poverty is no virtue, but spiritual emptiness is the very doorway to the God. जन्म कर्म च विश्वस्तम अजस्त्या कर्तुर आत्मना त्रियम निशिशु यादासु तद अत्यंत विडम्बना. Queen Kunti says, Lord Krishna may stay with Pandava because his presence brings auspiciousness, protection, and spiritual prosperity everywhere. So, Krishna is kept at the center of life. All good qualities, peace, success naturally develop. त्वयि नान्य विषय मतिर मधुपते सकृत रतिम उद्वाता अदता गंगे उदम उद्वंती. Here, the teaching itself says this Lord Krishna preparing to, when Krishna is supposed to leave Hastinapur, then Maharani Kunti coming and just praying to Lord Krishna because she knows very well he is the supreme person of Godhead and she protect when she feel dangerous. So she wants all colors should come to me so that I will never forget Krishna. श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण सखा विष्णु संभानी दृग राजन्य वंश दहनन पवर वीर्य गोविंदा द्विसुरति हरावतारा योगेश्वर खिलक गुरु भगवान नमस्ते. So in this chapter we conclude like this: Lord Krishna preparing to leave Hastinapur after confronting the blessing the Pandavas and other devotees. The verse teaches that devotee feel deep separation from Krishna, and this loving remembrance encourages the devotion and dependence upon him. So prayers by Queen Kunti, the glorious prayers by Queen Kunti says, how wonderful are the prayers of Queen Kunti. It's filled with surrender, humility, and deep realization of Lord Krishna. So complete dependence on Lord Krishna, seeing Krishna in all situations, devotional visions during happiness and distress, pure bhakti beyond material attachment. Main percentage here only Queen Kunti, Lord Krishna, and Pandavas. So Queen Kunti offers obeisances to Krishna, who is wealth of those who are materially exhausted and who is beyond material qualities. Background of this chapter is, see, after the Kurukshetra war, the Pandavas suffered many dangers. So Lord Krishna prepared to leave Hastinapur. So Queen Kunti offered heartfelt prayers before his departure. So Kunti Devi asked not to pray materially comfort. She prayed for remembrance of Krishna always. Real devotion means remembering Krishna in every conditions. Krishna protected the Pandavas. Same things, if we always remember Krishna, Krishna always protect us also. We cannot see the unseen protection by him. So here the conclusion is, those who are having free from false pride, material pride, often blocks spiritual understanding. So humility attracts Krishna's mercy. Krishna cannot be understood easily. Krishna is covered by his divine energy. Foolish people cannot recognize him as a supreme Lord. So just as an actor is not recognized beyond costume and makeup, Krishna is hidden by Yoga Maya. Only devotion reveals Krishna. So Mother Yashoda tried to bind little Krishna after he broke the butter pot. Kunti Devi becomes astonished. The Supreme Lord fear his devotee, and the Lord who frightens fear itself becomes afraid of Mother Yashoda. Pure love controls Krishna. Only pure love controls Krishna. So may my attraction flow constantly towards you like the Ganges flowing towards the ocean. Kunti Devi always prays for uninterrupted devotion. Bhakti should flow naturally and continuously towards Krishna. Spiritual attachment to the Krishna is higher than temporarily bodily relationship. Powerful teaching is difficulties can bring us closer to Krishna. Humility attracts divine mercy. Krishna always protects his devotee. Pure devotion is beyond material comfort. Constant remembrance of Krishna is perfection. And so the final conclusion of this Srimad Bhagavatam chapter, Canto 1, chapter 18 is that Lord Krishna is the supreme protector, well-wisher and shelter of his devotees. And sincere devotion to him is the real solution to all fears and suffering. Through the prayers of Queen Kunti, the chapter teaches that difficulties can become blessing when they encourage remembrance of Krishna because pure love and dependence of him. So the essence of devotion is divine protection. The Lord is the ultimate shelter, protecting his devotee from within and without. Material humility, sincere devotion arises within when one is materially adjusted and fully dependent on God. And spiritual vision is seeing the Lord's hand in every circumstances, including life's greatest calamities, and undivided focus, directing all attracting towards Krishna as the Ganges flows unhindered to the sea. That's all, Prbj. Hare Krishna to everyone. Dandavat, Pranam, Mataji and Prbj. This is my understanding from this chapter 8.
Hare Krishna.
Canto 1.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Very, very nicely presented. Slokas covered and meaning of the slokas also in one line covered. Very, very precise and to the point and to the time. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Anybody likes to ask any questions? Share any views?
Thank
Very
you, Prabhu. In fact, Prabhu had very little time to present because this morning actually he wanted a change of date, but then he took up this and did it. So really, thanks, Prabhu. And a lovely presentation. Lovely presentation as Mata is.
Thank you. It was very precise and beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Very nicely presented.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Nice
Very nice,
presentation.
Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, devotees. So today the speaker for the day is myself. So can we start the session? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mata.
Okay. So I'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimrantasya Jnananjalachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapadatikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutali Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivachari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Okay. So today is a very beautiful chapter. Does anyone know the name of the chapter?
The appearance of Lord Varaha.
Haribol, very, very nice. So today is the chapter appearance of Varaha, right? So very blessed to have this chapter in association with you all. So we'll go ahead with this. So before that, so we are talking about Varaha. So how many types of Varaha are there?
Two
Mataji.
Two types, Mataji.
Red and
Two
white.
Mataji.
Shweta
Shweta and
Raktavara.
Raktavara.
What is the difference? What is the difference?
Mataji, they appeared in different kalpas and with respect to the
Very
different
nice.
pastimes.
Also, the one lifts the earth and another one kills Hiranyaksha.
Two
Red one kills the Hiranyaksha and white Varaha and lifts the Mother Earth.
Very nice. So someone said different kalpas. So can you tell me which kalpas it can be? I'm just trying to understand so that we'll all know where to go, how much to go ahead.
Svetavaraha Kalpa. One is
Another one?
Padma Kalpa Mataji.
Shusha.
Padma.
Svetavaraha is which kalpa you said? Svetavaraha is?
Shwetavara actually he lifted all the planets which was rinsed in the thing, and the other one lifted only the bow, that is Earth.
So that's what I'm asking. Like, what kalpa was it?
Swayambhuva.
When did this happen?
During Swayambhuva Manu, and one is Vaivasvata Manu.
Very nice.
Chakshusha
Swayambhuva Manu is
Chakshusha.
perfect. Second one,
Chakshusha.
Chakshusha Manu. So the reason is it did not happen at the same time, right? So it happened during the first Manu, which is the Swayambhuva Manu. So the reason we are talking is this is in connection with what? This is in exactly connection with what we are talking about is in line with our previous chapter. What did we see in the previous chapter?
We saw the
We
creation
talked
of the
Swayambhuva Manu and
Shatarupa,
Shatarupa.
the progeny by Lord Brahma.
The creations.
So, and how we
Creation
had
of Kumaras.
Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa being
Yeah, that
generated
was the
from Lord
last
Brahma,
Yeah.
so that they can start with the progeny. And
Because
yes,
even
Mataji.
Rudra did not do properly.
Yes.
Very nice. So this is everything to do with the progeny, right? So before we get into that story, that is the first time. So now we are talking about Brahma. We're talking about Krishna, who is coming as Varaha and saving the earth, right? So why does he come to save the earth? And why you will know, but what happens to earth?
Was pushed deep
It
into
was
the Garbhodaka ocean by
into the
Hiranyaksha.
Hiranyaksha took it.
No, we just spoke two things. That's why I asked you this question. Hiranyaksha story you said happened in Chakshusha Manu. So Hiranyaksha is not yet come in picture, right? So you're talking about red Varaha, which is called the Raktavaraga later, which is when Hiranyaksha will come. Today we are talking about white Varaha, who's just lifting, which is called the Shweta Varaha. Now Hiranyaksha is not born. Hiranyaksha will be born in the upcoming chapters. So where is the picture? Where is the story? You getting my point?
Yeah. Mataji, maybe the
Vedas was stolen.
The earth was in the deep because of
which are holding the Bhumandala. I think it is to do with that. Something happened there.
I'm sorry, I heard only half. If you don't mind, can you repeat it?
I think the elephants who are holding the Bhumandala. I think
earth was in
something
the this
happened
thing,
there, and it's because of that.
under the devastating waters, cosmic waters. That was
It was pushed.
Yeah. So basically,
water of delusion.
lately in the sense currently we can relate to for some reason, right? Today we are talking about mining, global warming, and that's the reason I brought it up. They were exploitation of earth for some reason, and that is when the earth fell down. Now, who exploited, how it got exploited, and all of that are actually described by our acharyas in different ways, because Hiranyaksha's exploitation comes later. But why did why did this come is every time, we say Krishna comes to save, right? So we have seen this, Paritranaya sadhuna, Vinasaya dushkritam, Dharma samsthapanataya, Sambhavami yuge yuge. So there will be a reason why this particular thing happens, right? So every time an incident happens and Krishna comes for a particular reason. Why does he come? All of that is explained already in Bhagavad Gita. So today we see Krishna coming up as Varaha is because he wants to save the earth. And there is an amount of global warming and all that which may not be to the degree of what we are able to relate today, but our acharyas have said that there was a situation where this had happened, and that is why Krishna had come again to save the earth. And who was born? Who was born?
Narakasura was born.
Very nice. So Narakasura was born. The point which we need to know here, and the most important point I would rather say, is because this particular Narakasura who was born happens to be the most, I would say, the most riskiest situation here, because imagine this is a proof for us that even though it is his own son, Krishna does not spare. Right? So why did Krishna kill Narakasura?
He was in bad association.
Bad association with Banasura. And
because of bad
16,000
had
the
started
princess he had
He had
captivated.
abducted those princesses.
Yeah, 16,100.
16,000.
Ah,
This one was
16,000.
taking, Arjuna was taking, and Arjuna's powers got lost.
Very nice. So basically, coming back to the main story is the princess, right? So the princess were all abducted. So basically, it is the bad behavior of these kings or the or Narakasura, not the kings. I mean, he had actually kidnapped the princess and obviously kept custody. Whatever be the reason, like whatever you'll have told, all that is correct. So it shows very clearly Krishna will not tolerate any of this, right? So I managed to get Varaha at the background. I don't have Varaha white color, so you'll imagine white color Varaha for the time being. So beyond this, if I'm meddling with the laptop, we'll lose flow. Right, so this is the story of Varaha. So since this itself is a story, I will go with the flow. If time permits, I will continue the story of
The story, yes.
Yeah, so this itself is a story form. So let's first start shooting the content of this, and then we'll see what we can do, right? So, and then if we have time, yes, I'll dive into the story as well. So now let's start off with the first verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Tat Sat. So can everybody, please have your books. Open your books. So we are entering the 13th chapter, and someone read the heading of the 13th chapter and the shloka.
Incarnation of Varaha and
Pregnancy of Diti in the evening.
Uvacha Nishamyavacham Vadato Munehe Punyatamam Nrupa Bhuyaha Papracha Kauravyo Vasudeva Katha Drutaha. Krishna.
Translation also, ma'am.
Translation, Sukadeva Goswami said, after hearing from the great sage Maitreya about the Lord's incarnation as Varaha, Vidura, who had taken a vow, begged him with folded hands to please narrate further transcendental activities of the Lord, since he, Vidura, did not yet feel satisfied. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Very nicely read. So basically, before we get into the first verse, the entire first 9 verses. So today I will be covering, I think, 12 verses, 1 to 12, of which the first 9 verses are going to talk about disciplinic succession. You'll be wondering, Mataji, what is this, Mataji? Every time we are talking only this. But every time we talk this, which means we are reinforcing disciplinic succession, which is so important, right? Our ultimate goal is to go dash where?
Goloka
Vrindavan. Absolutely. Back to Goloka Vrindavan. So if we have to go back to Godhead, then we have to follow the process, right? So the process is to follow our sadhana. So for the easiest way is to do sadhana. And that easiest way is what we are trying to do. And for that, we need to hold on to someone. And the person whom we hold on is Guru. Obviously, who's our Adi Guru?
Balram.
Very nice. So Adi Guru is Balram Dev. So Balram is the Adi Guru, and he is not only going to help us to go here, but he's also facilitating us to show the Guru. Now, the beauty of Balram is something which will be very stunning. You know what? Not only that he is an engineer behind the material world and the spiritual world, if he knows that the devotee has to progress, right? He does one specific work. I think those who have done MBA will know this, right? So when you're walking the road, or when you're going in the car, if you have to buy a particular car, or if you are you've seen a particular car with your friend's house, mainly if you want to buy, or you want a particular lipstick, whatever it is, or a shirt, you will start noticing a lot of those ads, lot of the people wearing it. Have you all experienced this? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So
Yes,
it's a
Mataji.
marketing terminology
Yes.
which says,
The
selective
logarithm,
decisions.
Mataji, that is the logarithmic restores in it. So
Yeah,
if
so
you
it's called
search
selective
something,
decision.
it will come, the same related things will keep coming.
Yes, so it is not that they are coming. You're talking about law of nature. I'm talking about selective decision where your brain stores psychologically things which you have seen or things you want. This has always existed. The lipstick would have probably been there for years. The car has been running for years, but once you want, you start noticing it because that's the that's what attracts you. It's called selective reception, right? So that recession. So you're just trying to retain that particular part of it, right, in your brain, and your eyes start seeing. So the reason you'll be wondering why, Mataji, we are getting into science. Not that I want to take you all through the science, but science and spirituality goes hand in glove. Now, why I'm bringing this is now whatever we are talking about is exactly relevant to this particular verse. How? So this science is what Balaram says that if you are very keen on a particular object, right, you will start observing. So how does this happen is also Balaram's task, what and all he's doing when it comes to spirituality, not when it comes to material. So when you want Guru, Balaram puts a light on various Guru, right? So he will bring light or he will bring the Guru and highlight it. So you'll be wondering, ever since we thought of initiation, we start having so many Gurus in our life. So many, it's not that. The Gurus have always existed. Didn't Jayapatika Guru Maharaj exist even a decade before? He did. Many decades before. But the point is, our eyes is opening up, right? Now we see Gopal Swami Guru Maharaj, we see Mahatma Das Guru Maharaj. So a lot of these Guru Maharajas are coming in light because we are actually, the light is thrown by Balaram. So these are the tasks which he does. So there are a lot of things which is being done. Role of Balaram seems to be magnificent, right? So now we are going to enter here. Now what happens, why we are doing this is the first 9 verses are actually talking about disciplinic succession. Okay, I have this problem. I can never tell disciplic. I always tell disciplinic. So you'll have to bear with this word. So translation is, now after hearing, what happens is, there's this conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. Now, we always want the spiritual master to be pure, right? Now, Vidura, there are 3 people involved. We know one is Vidura, Maitreya. Another one is, who's the third person who's listening from, who wants to listen from Uddhava. Who's the Sorry, I told Vidura. Yeah. So, okay, Vidura wanted to listen from Uddhava, but why does Uddhava choose to shift the focus to Maitreya?
This is senior.
Because
Senior
he's
devotee.
She's senior, Mataji.
Senior Mataji.
We saw that word. What is that term called? It's called Maryada Vyatikrama.
Yes,
So when
Yeah.
So because of which he is redirecting it. Now coming back to a very, very important 2 points. One is we are having Uddhava, who is a pure devotee, no doubt. Now tell me, Vidura, Maitreya, of these 2, who is a pure devotee?
Vidura is the pure.
Vidura is more pure.
Fellow Mahajanas.
Vidura is pure devotee. So what is the challenge with Maitreya? I think Priyadashini Mataji's favorite topic.
He was earlier in the Jnani, but when he heard from the Supreme Lord, he became a devotee.
Very nice. He was a Jnani, right? The only thing is he... Hare Krishna. So that is true, but then I'm not talking about Vidura, I'm talking about Maitreya. He was a Jnani. But the moment he heard in the presence of Uddhava, association, and listening from the Lord, he became a pure devotee on spot, which qualifies him to be a speaker, and which enhances Vidura's hearing. Now the general tendency, okay? If somebody is a speaker and somebody is a listener, whom do we normally tell is in the higher platform? Generally.
Speaker.
Generally, the
Speaker, right? And normally the speaker has feather in the cap. They will tell it. May not be virtually projecting like that, but I'm just talking about a general conversation, right? Has this feeling that, okay, speaker is great. But here you see the whole verse talks about that the not just the speaker, but the listener who is Vidura here is much greater. So why we are talking about this, exalted devotees have the habit of appreciating people who are also listening. In this case, Vidura is genuinely seen very exalted. But even if assuming that Vidura is not exalted, why we are bringing in this background is, it is very important. Some of the traits, all of this we have to follow. And all of this we have to enhance, because as we are in this particular forum, has 50 students and 50 preachers. Why I'm telling is most of you are already preachers or going to be preachers, right? So this is a quality which you should see. So what happens is Sukadeva Goswami is talking to Parikshit. He's just telling this incident. He's telling, after hearing this topic between Maitreya and Vidura started inquiring further about Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it shows how eager he is, irrespective of whoever it is. Vidura knows, and it is very clear that Vidura is definitely more senior than Maitreya, not by age, but then he is a Mahajan, right? But still you see his eagerness to hear. Shrinvatam Swagata Krishna Pumya Shavana Kirtana. He's continuously wanting to hear. That concept of hearing is there. So we have to serve Lord. How do we serve Lord? By three ways of serving Lord. Which are the three ways?
Shravana, Kirtana, and Smarana, Pada
These
Seva.
are the process, but from our side, body,
Body, mind, and
Body,
speech.
mind, and action.
Mind and speech.
yeah,
Vak. It's
BMW,
Kaya,
body,
Vacha,
mind,
Manasa.
words.
Kaya,
Very
yes.
nice, right? So
Sharira.
body, mind, and words we will serve. Now, body, how can we serve?
Body physically by doing
Mataji, by rendering
the
service
Kadashi.
service.
unto the Lord.
Mataji keeping a Kadashi and all.
Very nice. Swavai Pada Krishna Padara Vindayo Vasam Sivai Kunta Gunanu Varnani Karor Harir Mandira Marganadushu Shrutam Chakara Chuta Satkadode. You'll be telling why Shrutam came, that came in the shloka by Amrish Maharaj. So I didn't want to cut it out. So basically, body, you can do cleaning of the temple, walking to the temple, all of that. So that way you can do body. Now, how does the mind gets purified?
By chanting the holy name of the Lord. By
Hearing and chanting. Mataji,
Smarana.
hearing and chanting.
Chanting and hearing,
Chanting,
And remembering the Lord constantly.
By largely chanting, Kirtan and Sankirtan. So by Kirtan, mind gets purified. Of course, by reading and chanting also, but I'm just coming to that. So by Kirtan alone purifies the mind, right? Now, that is why Sankirtan. So what is the difference between Kirtan and Sankirtan?
Kirtan is Mataji,
Kirtan
the
is
chanting that
we are doing alone, and
People are
Sankirtan is
alone.
alone with everyone.
So you have
Association of devotees.
Kirtana, only two people.
loudly.
So Sadhu Sangha is included, right? People are also included. So basically, we are doing, so purification of mind is by Kirtan. Now, intelligence, how does it get purified?
Smaranam.
Bring the
Vishnu
Lord out.
Smaranam. By glorifying the Lord, remembering the Lord.
Bring the Lord.
So hearing the glorification of the Lord. Hearing the
Teaching
glorification. Hearing the glorification of the Lord. Now, one reason that can be through Shastric learning. So most of the time we'll be asking, should we learn shlokas? Why? This was my first question when I asked, right? So, because that time, I'll tell you why also came. Okay, when we don't know something, we ask why. Right. So initially, we don't know, like ABCD slokam, if I have to read one sloka, it'll be Nai, Sham, yeah, this is how I used to, probably it was even worse. So we used to ask, why? Sloka learning, is it important? But automatically, Shastra is learning, all of that takes us to a higher mode of goodness. So that purifies our intelligence, right? So we have mind, we saw intelligence. What about our ego, false ego? That's the most important subtle thing to get rid of, right?
That is by serving the pure devotees. That is by serving.
I don't have access. I will not have access to pure devotees. Your answer is right, but I won't have access. How many of us had a chance to
No,
go
Mataji, I meant like His Grace Namanishta Prabhuji and all the, and you, Mataji, by serving the temple and all the services, online, offline services.
So very nice. So one example, you're very close, but by serving someone senior, whomever you're telling, right? Like for example, Namanishta Prabhu, how will my false ego go?
By surrendering and humbly asking.
All of us
Mataji, by humility, by more humility.
I will be humble, Namanishta Prabhu is senior to us, so we will be humble. Yes or no? Anybody feels more senior?
Mataji, not to accept the services which are with respect to our interest, but to accept all the services as.
That is very nice. So basically, that is to do with Krishna. Your answer is right. So you're serving bodily, mentally, everything you're doing, not just by your interest, fine. But how will my false ego go?
False ego,
menial services.
By accepting
When
that
we know that everything is
Whatever is
when we are
Krishna,
the eternal
when we
servitor of the
surrender
Lord,
the
that
body.
is the only way our false ego will go, when we will stop lording over the material things.
When we
Mataji, very
realize that we are not the
When
body.
we work
When
together
you
in the
accept them,
association
Mataji,
of
as
somebody
devotees,
gave the answer.
No,
Mataji,
when we
when you
realize that
accept
we are
them
not
as
the body.
Mataji, when we work together in the association of
Work
devotees.
together, very nice. When false ego goes is when you're actually working among the people of same style or same age. When I say age, don't take my age as 20 years or 100 years. I'm talking about the same level. The reason I'm telling you is if you have to serve Namanishta Prabhu, he's obviously senior. Where will your false ego? False ego will not go there. Let me give you an example. I'm sorry, Mohandas Prabhu, I have to pull him in everything. Mohandas Prabhu, we made him Bhakti Vriksha leader, right? I think overnight, one night, we had this discussion and I told, let's make him sector head. Okay, the point what I'm trying to tell is just an example. So, of course, Mohandas Prabhu's background, if you know, he's a very senior person. He was a head of, he's very senior in the corporate life and all. We leave that part. Most of us know it. But how do we see him in the society or in the life of our spirituality? We see him as an admin. Some of us respect him because of his virtues and all that. So we'll talk that as well. Otherwise, normally how you see, Hare admin. Admin itself is thankless job. Right now, imagine accepting him as a sector head. Somebody who's my admin, I have to take him as a sector head. Oh my God. So you call me for a meeting, I don't want to attend that meeting also. You know why? Because Hare, Mohandas Prabhu is just an admin. Of all the people, can't they make him? So we will be feeling uncomfortable and jealous. But what we'll put it across, we'll portray it differently. We will portray it telling that, why Prabhu? You should be Mataji, not that somebody is interested in the other person. But we are so jealous within ourselves that we want to project something. You can't tell, no, I want to become. So we're trying to be humble by telling you should become the sector head. I feel the point is the person who's telling is jealous. The person who's listening gets spoiled. I'm just giving you an example, right? Now then we go and serve in the temple together. One Mataji told, like by working together, very true. So now let's assume that we are working. Okay. Now for some reason I come and tell, Mataji, can you pick up that glass? You tell, why? Why should I pick up that glass? What is my age? Whatever. I am so senior. I am Bhakti Shastri teacher. Mataji told me to pick up that glass and I'm having one non-initiated devotee. Can't she take her? Our ego gets it. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Applies to all of us. Are you in line with me?
Yes,
Get body, mind, and soul. If you're taking 3 levels, especially we have to get rid of our mind, intelligence, and false ego. Only then we can go to Goloka Vrindavan. This is Purushottam month. We know how to get rid of gross body. Nothing great about it. Automatically, gross body goes off. Where we are stuck is our subtle body. Why we are explaining this is when you associate yourself with any devotee, and that way I will appreciate Aishwarya Mataji. Aishwarya Mataji, being a doctor, having a very beautiful material life, had given up everything in love for Krishna and they settled there. Right now, sitting outside and relishing a lot of things is different. But just imagine sitting in the temple and doing a lot of seva is not easy. Because I'll tell you why. There'll be so many challenges, there'll be so many problems, there'll be so many misunderstandings. In spite of that, if someone is able to stay, I think to my knowledge, she's been in the temple for over 5 years, or around 5 years. So imagine how somebody has to be humble, right, to bring that up. So humble is not about trying to tell, yes, ma'am, okay, ma'am, not really. Humbleness comes out in your, not just behavior, but in your attitude, right? And that is when not only gross and subtle body, not only the gross body, subtle body will give up. I'm spending a lot of time in this because I thought this particular month, we all know subtle body is something we theoretically will be very clear. Okay, mind. So every time when you feel there is a test of time, somebody is provoking you, that is the time I think you have to stay calm. Right? Remember 2 things. Either some devotee is testing you, or it's your bad karma, or it's test for you to go to Goloka. You take in whichever way. The moment you think in any of this way, you'll become humble. You don't have to be externally humble. Automatically you think, oh, some karma, if somebody is very bad, I'm not telling you not to retaliate and be very modest. But all I'm trying to tell you is, imagine if things are very bad and you still don't deserve it, it's your karma. Or it is that you're being tested, or this. Can I take a word that you can react, you can be angry, you can choose to be upset, but when you come home and before you sleep for 1 minute, can I take your word that you will think of what I said right now? Is that fine?
Yes, Mataji.
You have the right to be angry. You can even yell at the person. You can even bitch. But just 1 second think, maybe it's my karma, or maybe it is the test. It is like oral Vaivavosi. This is practical test which Krishna is having because it's an entrance exam for Goloka to see my humility. I'm still telling you all, I'm not telling you all to adjust and go down. But the fact I'm telling you is, can we get into that plane mentally? Externally, we can handle different. Externally, you should support a Vaishnava. Vaishnavite. You should also try to protect yourself if someone is exploiting you, that apart. But these are the things we should do. So this is one thing which I thought I'll leave. And therefore, eagerness to hear, devotion to, dedication to inquire, and hearing makes you feel more happy, right? So this is something which you have to do. And one good suggestion would be set a time, right? Or set a subject. Like, is 1 minute of Prabhupada's Hare Krishna, one line. Jai Padaka Guru Maharaj, at least one line. I'm just giving you at least. I'm not telling you should stick to that. At least one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, one shloka of Bhagavatam, one shloka of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Or if you feel time suits, work. Everyone has different solutions, right? So what suits you? I'm not saying. For me, if I fix time, sometimes my timing may not work. I may start early, I may have a class. So for me, I keep target in terms of task to cover. I've been a banker primarily, so I would prefer to keep it that way. But for someone who feels time is very good, I like 4 o'clock, I do that. Somebody who's very systematic, somebody who's very perfect, right, can follow this pattern. So I just thought I will tell you. Now, why Guru becomes important and why Guru will know you better than yourself. All of this we are going to see here. Second translation you can see, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Sri Vidura.
Sorry.
O chief amongst the great
What are the
sages,
3
I
things you
have heard
mentioned?
by... Yes, Mataji, carry on.
Somebody talking or is a recording going on?
So, no, Mataji was inquiring something.
Okay, no problem. Mataji, read this. We'll take. I'm not able to hear them. Yeah, go ahead.
Vidura Uvacha, do I do the translation only?
Translation, darling. Yes.
Yes. Sri Vidura said, O chief among the great sages, I have heard by disciplic succession that Hiranyaksha, the original demon, was slain by the same form of sacrifices the personality of Godhead, Lord, bore.
Right now,
Mataji, the translation and this one, no, it's different. Even the one was different and here is also different.
No problem. I got it. So basically, Vidura is asking the sage, he's talking about Swayambhu Manu, right?
He's talking about Hiranyaksha. Vidura, let me repeat again. O among the great sage, I have heard by disciplic succession that Hiranyaksha, the original demon, was slain by the very form of sacrifice, the personality of Godhead, Lord bore.
1 second. Let me just open the content also. So he is talking about the concept of what happened, right? There in just 1 second. Let me just open that. 113. Yes. So he is now started inquiring. Now we just said about Shravana. Now one more thing which will come up here is we will be wondering why they are talking about a lot of people, demons, asuras, all these characters will be coming up, right? Canto 2, 13. Mataji, I think you're reading a different verse. Can you please tell me which chapter you're reading?
Sorry, Mataji, I was reading 14, I suppose.
Yes. Because Hiranyaksha never came. That's why I had it.
Yes, sorry, Mataji.
No problem.
So,
That's why I cross-checked.
Mataji, translation. Srila Prabhupada. Vidura said, O great sage, what did Swayambhuva, the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife?
Hare Krishna. My only request is keep your books. No problem, no problem. What surprises me is you can go wrong, but the balance 49 did not observe. That was what is breaking me. So all of you all should be attentive.
I felt it actually. I was not corroborating with what we are having.
I was also thinking.
I was feeling that, yeah.
I was also
Mataji.
No problem, no problem. In the screen, when it is matching and someone is reading differently, then
you feel, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Swayambhu Manu, right? We are talking about Swayambhu Manu as his dear son of Brahma. Why is the statement made dear son?
He agreed to
because
he agreed to do
first he made the people are not very good. Then he made Kumaras, that also was not. Then Rudra came. Then finally these people came.
Yeah, so first he started with Kumaras only.
Yeah.
All Kumaras.
Ignorance people came.
So Kumaras flopped, right? They did not
then
hear.
Kumaras, then Rudra, then finally
Rudra. See, Kumara was a incident which turned out bad. Rudra became an accident. Then after that, he made 10, obviously not just 10, but then many others, not to satisfaction. So finally, Swayambhu Manu became dear to him, which happens, right? Bunch of children not listening to Papa, and finally one child listens. The duty of the child is to listen to the father. So this is not something which is new. This has been there, not just old either. This should be there. Most of the time in the current situation, doctors have proved why many of the parents are suffering from Alzheimer's, are suffering from, all these memory related problems, right? Dementia, are mainly because they do not have a choice to talk. Of course, you can tell Mataji they can join the class and listen. True. But even otherwise, when they don't have such opportunity, the best thing they should do is we should give them a ear. We may not even follow what they are doing. They have this tendency, elders, constantly they will tell. When my mom comes, she tells me still how I should fill water in a glass, okay, from, from, not that I have to put any efforts, the water dispenser, that's it. Okay, this is something which I think a 1 year child will be able to do, or probably a 2-3 year old child, but she will still go on. Right. So the point is, when the mother tells this, what happens? It's a concern. Unfortunately, we don't understand. We just feel that mother is policing. Why this? Why me? Do you think I don't know? This is our tendency. But the point is, they want to engage themselves in a conversation. One. And same way when they ask you, why you not had food, why don't you eat? It's not that they are trying to dictate your life. It means that they are really concerned about you. Why are you so late? We tell, somebody is policing us. So these are the points which you should understand. This is not out of suspicion or something. I'm giving you an example of mother. This is with mother itself in this Kali, this is a situation. Now, if it's mother-in-law, you can imagine, I don't have to explain, right? What would be our thought flow? Why is she telling you? She's always like this. That's how we will start feeling. So now coming back to the main story. Now we are talking about serious spiritual life, spirituality. We are talking about going to Goloka. Suddenly, why this romance is coming? Do after obtaining his very loving wife. Why is this topic of love coming here? And imagine this is read by two people. Vidura, who's on Vanaprastha, who's been away for how many years is Vidura away from his kingdom?
100 years.
5 years.
34, no, 30?
Excellent. So approximately he left prior to the war, right? Kurukshetra war around that time. So, and then after that, he, after Krishna disappeared almost. So Krishna disappeared at his 125th year. And, when Kurukshetra happened, Krishna was 89 years old, right? So typically about 36 years, right? I'm just giving a rough number. So he could have left even a year prior to that. So this is the number of years which went by. And what is happening? Something which is very strange. So he's been in Vanaprastha, soul guy, and Maitreya is a sage. And they're talking about lovable wife, romance and all. Why are they actually probing into Swayambhu Manu's personal life?
Because he is supposed to
Righteous
produce a
population, no?
for the progeny.
That he will do. But why are they probing? He will take care. Swayambhu Manu never said, I will not. He's come for procreation, he will do. Why are they poking their head? And why are we all poking the head and talking here about that?
About his conduct, Mataji, his...
Because
Mataji,
he wants to conduct
everything
his
is
All
life
questions
like
are
a
asked for the
Mataji, we
knowledge
are
of the
trying.
common man, so that they can understand how they are entrapped into this material miseries and what is the way out of it. It is
Oh, that
for
is
the
sweet.
general masses.
That's a sweet angle, but why are they talking?
Because
An
Mataji, the
example of
topic is
righteous conduct
relevant.
of the...
It is related to the Lord, because that is the reason why Lord Brahma is doing the creation. The progeny is one of the major important thing. That is the reason why the creation
They will
happened.
create progeny. No doubt on that. Swayambhu Manu is a very dear son. So he is going to do his task. Right.
Because
So we don't have to worry, na. See, you're getting my point. I'm trying to corner the situation. Swayambhu Manu is a good son that is good enough to understand that he's going to do what is required to do to develop progeny. Why so much of romance here? Love, wife, his personal life. Son, okay, I'm accepting the first line. Why here? And that too, you, me, all of us are discussing for the past
because
5
they
years.
were born with one body
They are born to increase the progeny.
from the
That they will
Brahma.
do.
Mataji, maybe even though she was so beautiful and he was the emperor of the world, he was not attached to the family life. Is that what they want to show?
So while thank you so much, I'm so happy that you all are thinking in a very advanced level. But the point is, this calls for a very simple answer. The answer is anything related to Krishna, they want to hear. Now you will ask, Mataji, where is Krishna in this? Krishna is not even here, because the name Krishna includes everything. Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhave Granam Indriye Sevan Mukhe Jigvaham Swayameva Spurat Praharay. The moment you tell Krishna, this paraphernalia, everything is covered, which includes devotees. Swayambhu Manu is topmost devotee. Brahma is topmost devotee. So every aspect of their life, we want to hear. It can be somebody like Ajamila, who is in Bhagavatam, somebody like Bharat Maharaj, who is flopped, Right? Tell me people who have failed. Not only learning for us, but I'm just saying, not only great things are spoken, no. Tell me people who have done negative things and it's come in Bhagavatam.
Ajamila, he has done.
Ajamila, totally.
Yes, then Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni, I won't call him a devotee, but still, Durvasa Muni, how he did, agreed. Next.
Then we have
Mataji.
we have
Chitraketu
Ravana.
Mataji.
Kasura.
Chitraketu, very nice.
Ravana,
Narakasura. So Chitraketu actually again is an exalted devotee, but it's a very nice story of how he was and how he became. Same with one more person, some more people. That is, not only their success stories are recorded, their failures, their slips, all of them are recorded. Give me some examples of that. One is Chitraketu.
Bharata.
Bharat Maharaj, very nice. Bharat Maharaj, how he just sort of lost track, how he became Jada Bharat, how he got insulted, how head was chopped, right? We can't have a bad father like Prahlad, but can we think, in case I have a father like this, for one moment, right? One day, just think of all these characters. In case I have a father like this, how will we react? Tough, no? Call. So all these are for us to understand their every part and aspect of life, how they have experienced all this and how they have managed to be successful, how they have managed to fall. And yet Krishna has been very merciful to climb up. Right? So that is something which we know. This is this sloka. Samashritaye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavam bodhirvatsa padam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesham. Someone very beautifully told material world is misery. It's true. But it doesn't matter. We all know that. But in spite of that, people who have failed, fallen, still go up. Many people have this question. I think many of them ask among relatives mainly. Who told in Bhagavad Gita that you should not watch movies? Where is it written in Bhagavad Gita? Is it written? Yes or no? Is it written?
No.
No, Mataji.
There was
So we can watch movies.
those
So
times.
I will end the meeting. We'll all go watch one movie. Okay.
No, Mataji, indirectly it
We'll
is
see
there.
that movie, no,
All the
Mataji?
unlimited
He said
desires.
Narasimha movie we'll see, Mataji.
Yes, Narasimha
Yeah,
movie,
we're
yes,
talking
correct.
about the different modes,
Avatar
Mataji.
Narasimha will
Krishna
come.
movies, Lord
Krishna
Just
Krishna
Avatas have
movies we
come,
can
Not
watch.
Mataji.
cartoons.
No,
yes,
some
we
movie why
also.
we should not see. You just now said Bhagavad Gita is not having that we should not watch a movie.
So, Mataji, it's talking
Vikarma
about the
Mataji.
different modes,
Tattvahara
no?
viharasya.
That the unlimited
You don't have
desires,
to get
hankering might
influenced by them.
happen. We might develop hankering, lust,
Mataji.
anger,
Very
and
nice.
craving
That is
there.
the shloka. Bhagavad Gita
Mataji,
says
hangs
that.
in your mind for a while. You carry
That is the shloka Bhagavad Gita is saying. Dhyayate vishayan pumsa sangaste chupajayate sangat sanjayate kama krodho vijayate. Right? Did we read in Bhagavatam, it is okay to associate yourself with opposite gender than to associate yourself with someone talking about opposite gender. Yes or no? See, it is better I go talk to a guy rather than talking to a girl who's going to talk about a guy in a very sensuous manner. That is what movie does. Movie is trying to bring out a lot of sensuality. This is one point. Second thing, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tvachatante kalaivaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada sata bhavata. So therefore what? Yeah, whatever state of mind we are, that is what we'll mean. Just imagine we are watching one love story of which that girl is kicking that fellow or the guy is kicking that girl, and if we die for touch wood, then what will happen? What family we will be born into, right? So these are things which we have to be very, very careful. And therefore, marriage model Manus, they are talking about how the marriage was conducted, all of that. They want to know about the duties, how the devotee Swayambhu Manu conducted his life, how the wife of Swayambhu Manu, Satarupa, behaved as a chaste wife and how she helped. These are learnings for us to take it forward. So story about them is also Krishna Katha, right? So Krishna includes all that. Third one, translation.
Oh, best of the virtues, the original king of kings, Manu, was a great devotee of the personality of Godhead, Hari, and thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I'm very eager to hear. Hare Krishna.
So hearing about the Lord, hearing about the devotee actually gives you the same result. Same way, serving the Lord and serving the devotee also gives the same result. It is very, very important. Many times we will be thinking. Then you will tell Mataji, how can I serve Prabhupada? Bapu, what you're doing right now is serving Prabhupada. Most of the time we relate to, like, I have to cook for Maharaj, I have to cook for them. I don't have a chance. No, just follow their instructions. That is good enough for us that we are serving the Lord. Right? This is one thing we should always remember. Many times we feel we are not doing. So everyone here should be a preacher. When I'm telling preacher, I'm not telling you should take Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav or level 1. No. You can possibly go and preach to your neighbor. One line, that is also preaching. Preaching does not mean that you have to tell for 1,000 people or take a Bhakti Vaibhav close. You don't have to intellectually teach, but you can teach whatever one line. And Prabhupada say this, learn one, teach one, right? So this is one thing. You learn one, learn from one and teach to at least one. This should be our process, right? So hearing, this is the most important thing. Therefore, here, devotee's character, learn from the character both ways, positive and negative. We spoke about some of these characters. What about Narada? Narada Muni also was a Gandharva and fell, right? And then again, he had a chance to rise back into an eternal servitor of Lord. What about Brahma? Brahma also got disturbed, right? Whom did he get disturbed? We saw that in the previous chapter.
Yes, with the Vak, his daughter.
Mataji,
Right?
Vak.
Vak. Yeah, Vak is Saraswati.
Vak
Yeah, Vak is Saraswati. So therefore, he got disturbed with Saraswati. So these are things which are happening for exalted devotees also. What we should not do is criticize. I think first time when we read Bhagavatam, I think morning we read Bhagavatam at 5 o'clock. 4 of us did it. That time when Mataji never could take peace. We'll tell, okay, Indra is like that, we'll move on. She'll tell, how can Indra be like that? Yeah. If Indra itself is like that, why can't I be like that? Is it a comparison? Is it something very nice to become very proud of? Oh, Indra is like that, can I not like that? Indra is sitting only in Swarga. Do you want to be in Swarga or you want to go to Goloka? What's your destination?
Goloka Vrindavan.
Correct? Then we have to, when your ask is big, your task will also have to be big, right? So now let's move on to the 4th verse, translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Persons who hear from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the mouth of a pure devotee about the character and the activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees always think within their heart of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead who awards his devotee liberation. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So they're talking about pure devotees. Always think of Krishna, right? So how do we know? Pure devotees always think. Give me examples of pure devotees thinking of Krishna.
Ambrish
Haridas Thakur,
Prahlad Maharaj.
Haridas
Maharaj.
Thakur.
Haridas
Srila
Thakur.
Prabhupada.
Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada, classic example. At the age of 70, I don't know. I am thinking now, while I'm planning to go to Tirupati tomorrow, I am talking 100 things. Usually we go by car. This time I thought I'll go by train. I booked the ticket. I've asked like 100 questions. Room is there. Is it there down or up? VIP darshan you're on. He said we'll organize.
Haribol Mataji, my heart
Not
goes with
tell
you.
Haribol once again. And after I,
Haribol.
okay, look at my demands also. Room may AC hai. Can I get an up Tirupati? Not possible. All these topics are coming up. Okay. Still not finalized. We are still on the discussion stage. The reason I'm bringing this out is because not that I'm trying to show off air that I need an AC or something. Generally, I have thermal sensitivity. So if I expose myself to heat for 10-15 minutes, I get a mild stroke. So, like heat vibe. So I'm very cautious. But the fact is, okay, this is on one side. Now imagine Prabhupada had already 2 heart attacks in the ship, right? And third heart attack is potent. He never bothered. And imagine if something touch would happen, you'll be far away from the temple. You'll be in the ship. And that can be horrible, right? For somebody who's a devotee, such as they'll be thinking, hey, let me come back here. Let me just put in the temple. I'll do Krishna, Rama. I will do this, right? So I'm just saying, look at the way apart, how these devotees, they just don't care, right? Their focus is only about spirituality because they always think of the Lord, like how you said, Amrish Maharaj, our Prabhupada, all of them are such, they cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the God. Even when they are doing work, even when Amrish Maharaj was doing tasks, or even for that matter, anyone, Yudhishthira, though externally they were doing constantly, they were like movie, right? Some houses, when you go, there's this TV which will constantly run. Have you seen? Something will be going on, one movie. They may not even see, but that will be at the background. Have you seen? Some of my uncle's house and all.
Yes, Mataji.
TV will be running in the background. Be more irritating for me because TV running is one thing. Advertisement in between will come. That will be so noisy that it disturbs your general flow also. The reason I'm saying that is because just imagine at the background constantly some bizarre noise is going on. It's irritating for us that you leave, but for a devotee like that, the pastimes of the Lord is going on. So while it's just like imagine you're watching a movie, and in that movie, hero heroine are coming. In their movie, Krishna and Radha Rani will come. So whichever Baba they are in, suppose they are in Friends, they'll be thinking, oh, all the Gopas and all that. So it is said, does anyone know Prabhupada's Swarupa? Like what was he over there?
Friend, Mataji, friend. Sakya.
The commander.
Many of them say that. So what is the proof of that? Which is just a guess because
That
Prabhupada never.
the poem which he has written, Mataji, while going in the ship, Jaladutta, 2 poems that he wrote. In that he mentions, I think in the last somewhere, that when will I get to associate or something like that is there.
To play
Go,
when
play
I go back and play with the Lord.
Yeah, so there are two things which are explained. One thing which is said is Prabhupada always talks about playing and all that, right? Like Gopa. Second thing is tiffin box. Where in one of the lectures he said, tiffin box, he starts whenever that pastime of tiffin box comes, he relishes a lot. And who plays with tiffin box? The Gopas. Now there is one more story is he supported ISKCON Vrindavan, right? So that is again Balram and Krishna, which are the primary deities, right? So this is what is spoken. However, Maharaj has actually also said that little difficult. Krishna not just prayed with the Gopas, he also prayed with Gopis. So that is also a possibility. Vrindavan being a housed place of Balaram, it's done. So there are 80% views supporting Gopa. But some of our senior acharyas have also supported, telling that it can be even a gopi because gopis also tend to play. It is not that only rasa dance they play, right? So these are the contexts. But then, as you all rightly said, it's more inclined towards a gopa. But though he is never evidently told. But however, his gurus and all are, what about his gurus? What are their swarupa?
The Manjaris.
Manjaris, Mataji, in the spiritual
Very
world.
clearly, they are all Manjaris, right? Very nice. Hari Bol. So now let's move to the next verse. Yes.
Chela Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanvi Pranam. Mataji, it is this one, no? Text 6. He attempted to read after that.
No, text 5. We didn't read the
Text
text 5.
Okay. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Iti
Translation. Dear.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Shukdev Goswami said, the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak. Hare Krishna.
Swapadamoolam bhajata priyasya tvaktena bhavasya harir murare. So vikarmaya chotpatidam kadanche dunoti sarvam hridi sannivistaha. So padamulam, right? The pada is so attractive. Everybody is calling for it. So imagine from the pada only, if you see the tulasi smell, who got influenced by the smell and got carried away?
The Kumaras.
Mataji.
Right? So the Sanat Kumaras, right? So that is also there. So yeah. Tasya Ravindanayasya cha Pada Ravindayor. So why they bring that is from the Pada, right? From there, whatever the aroma, from there only they got attracted. Also in the 6th chapter, which the Ashtanga yogis meditate on what?
Paramatma. The lotus feet of the
Virat Roop.
Virat Roop of
Paramatma form. Ashtanga yogis are Paramatma. Virat Roop. Yeah, Virat Roop is Jnani. So, of course, the beginners do on the Virat Roop, that is a different story, but they meditate on which part of Paramatma?
Lotus feet, Mataji.
Lotus feet.
Lotus feet. So the lotus feet of the Lord is very, very special. Right? So that speciality of the lotus feet, people are craving for it, and Krishna is giving that lotus feet to Budra to massage. So you can show how Lord honors, and he is so humble that he is giving that opportunity to Budra. Lotus feet of Krishna is being held by even Balram, right? To do massage. And Lakshmi, you know that. So imagine what level he is giving. For us, we may feel, what is a big deal? But when you're in that bhava, you want something and you get that lotus feet, then you can imagine what kind of a thing. right? So that is what is the booty of the Lord. So that kind of a devotional ecstasy we can see. So here they are talking about the lotus feet is kept on Vidura's lap, and Maitreyi was so pleased with Vidura's words, right? And the whole conversation is talking about the way in which they both are relishing. Forget normally the speakers we will relish, but whoever is the subservient, I would say, because Vidura is actually in the listening mode. Even then, he is so pleased. Maitreya is so happy that Vidura is what he is talking, how he is having his bhava, everything is a lot. It takes a long way to accept someone who's actually listening at a higher level. So that's something which I want to tell. And analogy given is obviously, as I said, keeping it in the lap is something which is very, very, very special and intimate. You will never put your leg on someone. Yes or no? You may put your head on someone. Whom will you put your leg on?
With whom you are very intimate.
Absolutely, very intimate. So you should not see, Are, what is the big deal? Yeah, he did that. But then imagine how intimate Vidura should be that Krishna has put his leg on Vidura. Right? So that is one thing. And Sarashra Shri means not thousand, it means thousands of. So they are talking about, now you're relating to Virat Rupa, I understand. So they are talking about Virat Rupa, which is who? Sahasra Shir. Whom are they referring to here? Or anywhere? Purusha Sutta prayers, but specifically in this context? Yeah, Krishna, I know, but which Vishnu?
To Lakshmi
Mataji. Vishnu.
Sorry?
Ananta Shesh Mataji.
Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Thank you so much. Sahasrashi, they are talking about what you are talking about is thousands of heads. But here also Krishna, they Garbhodakshay because the Virat Rupa, because the Garbhodakshay Vishnu has all the elements, but it is still inactive until the Paramatma, who is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who the Virat Rupa is like this. But it started getting active when the Paramatma enters, who enters into Garbhodakshay Vishnu and activates. So it's talking about Garbhodakshay Vishnu in this context. Yeah. Sixth.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The sage Maitri said to Vidura, after his appearance, Manu, the father of the mankind, along with his wife, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Brahma, with obeisances and folded hands.
So basically, Maitri, right? He's telling Vidura. So what is happening? Look at how Manu is so humble, right? And along with his wife, they are addressing Brahma with so much of respect. So here they talks about how here Brahma not only refers to the father, but they are talking about the respect one has to give. So respect or surrender is very important. You have to seek Vedic instruction. You have to pray obeisances to your predecessor. The most important thing, which I always tell is, how do you know that you're growing in bhakti? This is something which I always ask. I've always asked the question, but I don't know if I've ever said the proper answer. How do you actually?
One becomes more humble.
How do I measure you become more humble? How do I know it's from inside? That is true. That is also both of the thing. But how will I know to myself that I'm growing in bhakti?
Mataji, I'm having friendly relation with all devotees.
All the devotees, how we behave.
Is that a criteria?
I'm a socialite. I generally socialize in a very friendly way. Possible, na? I've seen a boy who used to report to me used to be very friendly with everybody. Whether it's an auto driver or whether it's a head of the company, he will talk because he's a socialite. You would have seen in the material world, socialites also behave like that. What difference?
Mataji, not jealous of others, other devotees' growth, Mataji.
Very nice. One is a very good point. Not jealous, and more so, you start wanting for the other devotee's growth. If you want your other devotee to grow, and if you feel happiness in that, that means you're growing. Point one, right? It's a test to yourself. See, because you may not exhibit friendly behavior can be friendly. I may feel very angry, right? I may feel extremely upset with Amrinder Kumar Prabhu. Arey, Prabhu is giving such a nice presentation, all that. But outside I'll tell Prabhu, very nice Prabhu, brilliant Prabhu. How will you know? But how I will know, no? Right? Anasuya way. But the another important point is one more point.
Self-introspection.
That is what? Self-introspection. How? Responsibility. Are you willing to take responsibility? We always like to do seva. once we have come to the Kanishta Adhikari into Madhyama Adhikari role. There's no doubt. But would you like to do the Seva of your choice or the Seva of what Lord's choices? It can be anything. It can be a Seva of kitchen. It can be a Seva of cooking. It can be a Seva of temple cleaning. It can be anything, right? It can be a Seva of running a class as a backup. It can be a Seva of admin, or it can even be a Seva to the extent that you feel that you can't do. Right? But are you willing to take responsibility is one. Very important. Can you do this? Personally, I have seen, right? And maybe I'll just take 5 minutes because we have a lot of time today. I have seen your guru never gives you beyond what you think you can, but we always feel it is difficult. I remember I mentioned to you all, I was mentioning to you all last time, right? Do you remember which was my first class, which I took in ISKCON Mangalore?
Bhagavad Gita class.
11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Haribol, very nice, right? Brilliant memory. 11th chapter. But when Ramnishna Prabhu initially told me, I first thought, impossible. Imagine for someone who's never taken a class, right? And I log into the class and I'm trying to bring a connect. I log into the class and I'm seeing some 110 participants or something, 110 or so. I was sharing this story with my with the Tamil team and Tamil team or the Bhakti, Tamil team. And Mohandas Prabhu was telling, when I said this number, Prabhu corrected. He said, yes, Mataji, over 100, you're right. And I think that meeting was 9. He said, no, Mataji, 8 o'clock only. Correct only, Mataji. I was wondering how Mohandas Prabhu is so correctly telling this. And later Prabhu told Mataji, I was one of the students then, which I realized after almost 4-5 years. I think this happened like 4 years back. I said, Prabhu, were you there? He said, yes, Mataji, we were there. And when he told me, Mataji, the session went on very well. I felt so good, right? Because many people said this. But then the fact is, after 4 years, if someone is telling, that means that the feel is good. And what is even more great is Prabhu was so nice, right? So when I was scared, I went back and I told him, he said, no problem, just tell Krishna, Krishna. Right? So he could bring down to the mood, right? So Mami, if he had told me, you tell Hare Krishna, you tell Krishna, Krishna song and all, nothing would have gone into my head. But this was something which is close to, everybody has a close to heart word, right? So your guru has understood you so well. And his first statement after the class, he said, Radhika, you are taking class. After you take class, everybody wants your class only. You seem to be stealing my thunder. It takes a heart to appreciate someone who's subordinate. Okay? It really calls for, we may just generally tell, but so it takes a heart to, go to that extent. It is not easy at all. So, it's very, imagine somebody who's a president who comes down and tells you you're damn good and all that. That is, good is okay, but nobody will compare yourself. The reason I'm trying to highlight here is, if you see the top people, right, like Maitreya and Vidura, if you see Maitreya is constantly glorifying Vidura. Somebody at a senior position, of course, Vidura is also senior in this case, but otherwise from a paper point of view, the speaker is supposed to be at a senior position. Glorifying shows very clearly that the speaker is a super speaker, right? Because that shows lack of jealousiness, lack of being very humble, being very, very down to earth. This is because I've also given some lectures. Many people tell, it's nice only. I'm talking about senior people, or they will tell, people like, that's fine. They like, the appreciation is never full. When you appreciate someone fully from bottom of your heart, the other person will know. Not just by words, that feeling we'll get. Yes or no? Like when you move the person, right, we will know what the other person starts thinking and feeling, pulse of it. From here, I know, like in the class also, I know very clearly, like out of 50 students, I'm telling you as a speaker, I may still be wrong. I can tell for sure, like at least 8-9 people are really very close to me. Not that I've connected to them or spoken to them, but they can relate to me, right? That feeling will come. Same way, some of you all will feel like that. Now, it can be 9, it can be even 19, but I'm just telling you. So that feeling of genuineness, right? That came out so well from that, right? So that is why Maitreya Muni, when he's appreciating Vidura was able to, get into it. The reason I'm telling, most of the time they will externally appreciate, wow, this is so beautiful. This is so nice. But inside, not that we will feel jealous, but we may not mean it. We'll just say, for the sake of it. I've also said many times, for the sake of it, I'm not talking about here as students, but sometimes we'll have very nice, how did you, very nice. But the point is, are we genuinely talking? Is it coming from bottom of your heart? Is something which we should start thinking. I mean, these are learnings, right? So I'm just taking a minute off to share about Namnishta Prabhu, because we have not seen Maitreyi, we have not seen Mitra. But some of the exalted devotees, why they become exalted is because of this. Today, this morning, Prabhu was talking about Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari, right? So it is like we are all trying to grow, not by sadhana, but for the class as Madhyama Adhikari to exhibit a quality to keep up. But many of these devotees are actually Uttama Adhikaris who are coming down to a level of Madhyama Adhikaris so that they can preach. Prabhupada. I would even tell Namnishta Prabhu, his thought flow, his actions are so much elevated, so much thoughtful. Even a best of management person cannot think like that. I've worked in organizations. Even there, I've seen there will be a lot of conflict. But how Prabhu is able to resolve conflict, make judgments, be able to estimate who's good, who's gossiping, who's sneaking, that needs a heart and a mind which is beyond, right? So let's move on to the next verse. 7.
Hare Krishna, you are the father of all living entities and the source of their subsistence. Because they are all born of you, please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. So this is one thing which I wanted to ask. There are 5 rasas, right? Most of them will ask, why is this rasa of father missing? Why we even have Vatsalya Rupam, where we are the father or we are the mother. Why we are not the parent of Krishna? Why Krishna is not the father? Like in most of the Christian schools, like I remember, my father in heaven, holy be with thy name, my kingdom come, all that is coming. Why we don't have Krishna as our father?
He's already
the father.
Of all.
Good mother.
He enjoys more being a son of a devotee.
Sorry, Prabhu, your voice is very feeble.
He enjoys more being a called son of a devotee.
That is right. Forget about his enjoyment. I'm interested in me. What is in it for me? Why not me?
Mother, the father is more happy when he serves the son, when the son is more. The father's happiness depends on the son.
Yeah, tell me please again.
Mother, the father is more happy when the father is more happy serving the son, because he gets much more happiness when the son is more happy.
That is fine. That is a general lecture. My question does not answer that.
What is your question, Mataji?
My question is, we have 5 rasas. What are the 5 rasas?
Vatsala,
Madhurya.
Surya.
In any of the rasas, have we accepted Krishna as the father?
No, we are accepting Yashoda as a mother, Krishna as a child.
Why not?
Because we are envious of our nature, Mataji.
So what?
Father of all. Mataji, because in material world, he's the father of all, like you can say.
He's anyways father. That's fine. Bija Prapita Prita. That is accepted, which is very sweet answer. Because in the material world, he's a father. Your answer is close.
More of a respect.
Krishna does not appear as a
rather
father.
than the intimacy.
He's more of a child in
He wants to reciprocate. He can reciprocate with the father. It is like hierarchy is there.
Mataji, we always want respect for ourselves. We want respect for ourselves, so we cannot accept the supremacy of someone else. And moreover, we just want to have a reciprocal loving relationship with someone. We don't want to see anyone superior to us.
Very, very beautifully defined. No, father also gives love, yeah. Come on, fathers here should speak now. Fathers don't give love.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Most of the time,
Nanda Maharaj is giving all the love.
father will be serving the son,
Mother figure
rather than
becomes
the other way.
more heavy.
Very nice. Someone gave the answer. Hare Krishna. Mataji, speak out. Father serves the son, then the son serving the father. So
most
Krishna,
of the time,
yes, Krishna wants to relish love. How will you relish love if you're taking the role of a son, not the role of a father? Because the father we will be order takers, right? Krishna will become an order supplier if we see him as a father, which many of them do in the material world, like one of the Mataji told. But somebody actually, pinned the nail very clearly. If we take Krishna as the father, my father in heaven, therefore supply, give me this, give me that, which is what most of them does. But how do we know that you love someone? Love means service. The role of a father is anyway taking care. That is different. But when we want to show mutual reciprocation, if he is a father, then the relationship is limited to aham bija pradaprita. But he wants to get served. He will also serve. If you are going to become a Saka and hold his leg, he also is doing. So it is 5 rasas are mutual. If you see Sankhya rasa, right? Friendship, not that he alone plays. One time Gopas lift him, one time he lifts the Gopas. One time he holds a Gopa's leg, one time Gopas hold his leg, right? So they are massaging his leg. So these are happening mutually. But if you see, if he becomes a father, not only supremacy, there is a problem.
But Mataji,
9:45, Jesse. So if he becomes a father, there is going to be one problem. The problem is they are stuck. What is happening? The moment he becomes a father, the biggest issue will happen is we will start becoming very meek and we'll start asking, demanding him, give me this, give me that, give me this.
but Mataji, Krishna himself says that he is the seed-giving father of all
I just said
living
that.
beings.
Yeah, very nice. That is what I said. Aham bija pradaprita. So it's taken for granted that he is a father. But the loving exchange in the Goloka Vrindavan, and one Mataji also told me, in material world, he acts as a father because he is supplying everything, sun, moon, star. But over there, he wants to experience love. He cannot be a father and experience love. You will tell why, Mataji, fathers don't experience. Fathers are constant suppliers. If you see, father is like a Santa Claus. No, father is called the Santa Claus. He has to protect, he has to provide for the family.
Yeah.
Very rarely you will see a child, very rarely going and hugging the father. Very rare. It's normally when the child is small, he'll go and hug the mother. Generally. Right? So mother is an embodiment of love. Father is an embodiment of protection. So and he has to keep on supplying. Fortunately or unfortunately, Krishna is supplying. So as you said, in the material world, yes, but in the 5 rasas, yes, you can still think of him as a father. I'm not stopping that, nor am I blocking the thought. But it's the Vatsalya Bhav here is taking him under your control, taking him as a child, right? Not showing supremacy, because in Goloka you can't show supremacy. It's like equal. Neither he shows nor we show, but we show with a love. We don't show with the power. We don't want to. That's not the thought. Because if you don't want to, then we are envious. We are still in the material world. There we are concerned. Achacho, this child is not capable of. Just like how I said, my mom still asks me, hey, be careful when you're doing. Close the door. I'm going, close the door. And it was same house I'm living. You probably would have visited me. I don't close the door. You never will close the door. Why will we not? We will know. The house main door is the first thing we will all close, at least in Kali. We are so much used to it. But the mentality is they think like that. So that is out of concern, not out of suspicion. So the father position is giving position. And if we treat him as a father, we will be taking. We should be giving, right? So that is the idea. Did I make it clear or did I confuse you?
Yes, Mataji. Giving
Mataji.
service.
Clear,
No?
Mataji.
Krishna is
Beautiful,
he
Mataji.
wants to give
Beautiful realization.
service.
So the son's duty is not to make the father. This brings it out here. Incidentally, I didn't realize, but now it's come. Father to be a supply chain, right? It has come, it's come, it keeps on coming. This is what is Balram's thought, right? Many times my friend also tells, amazing, yeah, you understand Prabhupada so well. Prabhupada has written. I said, I have not understood Prabhupada well. Prabhupada has understood so well that this was going to come and this will facilitate. Therefore, he is coming there in the form of verse. Or Krishna Balram is coming in the form of verse to align with our thoughts. So therefore, see beautifully, this is again comes. Son's duty is to make, not only be taking from the father, also a grown-up son takes care of the son, right? Initially, what happens? Who carries the bag to school for us?
Father when he's
Father carries. I still remember my dad used to put cover and write, put labels, stick and all that. My daughter still tells it. My tata used to put, right? So father's role is that. But when they become old, what happens? When they become old, we carry the bags. Yes or no? Okay, the same thing applies to devotees also. When you are a beginner, many times when you see in Yatra, what happens is, initially when people are coming, right? And when you're a beginner, if anybody is there to carry Prabhus and all, they'll shove it to them. Yes, Prabhu, I can't. You carry and come. But actually you get advanced. Genuinely you can't. That's a different situation. But once you can, actually, they never do that. You observe in all yatras, many of them who are just coming for the first time or second time, if there is someone who's willing to help, they will immediately give off the suitcases. Observe that. Which they will be very comfortable to carry. I always will tell only one thing. I agree it is heavy, but why do you carry heavy? Right? Can we just carry a cabin luggage and go for a 3-day? I want to be very comfortable. I want to carry everything and go. Why? Why do you have to be comfortable? I think comfortably about 6-7 dresses can go in a cabin luggage, right? You have a trolley, you can manage. Of course, little bit of help you can take, but many of them bring the medium-sized suitcases, big suitcases. Why all that? Just give it a thought, right? I'm not telling you should not, but I'm just telling, even if you want to carry two, can't you divide? Keep one cabin luggage, keep one small backpack where you can put whatever you need, so that you are able to manage your own luggage. As I said, again, if it's long distance or steps, you can take help, right? Sometimes height, right? We may not be tall enough in the flight, we might need height. We can take help. But many times we see what we can do, we'll call the air hostess. Put it up. Right? I've seen that in banks also, not just in spiritual world. They will call the air hostess and they will put, I'll tell you, Prabhus are there. I'll tell, why can't you put? Hurry, they can do now. Why? Yeah, you're there, such a small bag, you're tall enough, you can just take it and put. They used to, very, very obviously. And they used to do that. They used to tell that. And some of the Indian banks, especially, I've noticed they'll do for me, right? They'll tell no boss, they'll do. Somebody else, mute yourself, please. But somebody else who's subordinate to, they will not do. Because they feel, hurry, yeah, why? I will help, but let someone help. Why? Small little bag, anybody can do. I'm just telling you, these are thoughts which we should not do and what we should do. So what we should first do here is acknowledge providence, Krishna's presence, how by service direction, how he is given the way you have to serve, right? And duty is to render service. How service is the mercy of the Lord. When you tell kripa of the Lord, how do you think God will give kripa? It is by giving service. Any amount of service comes to you, it's like, just imagine the mercy is pouring. Someone gives you, I will give Lakshmi, I will give money, but you tell, no, I don't want. We won't. Like that, if service is coming, never will be a situation when your guru or Krishna or Balram will give you. Genuinely, you might have a problem. I'm not denying it. This doesn't mean that you have had a surgery in your stomach or your spine. Doctor may be knowing, may tell you not to lift weights, and somebody will tell lift the table. We may not be aware. That time you should tell, I just had a surgery. No doubt. Genuine exception. But you should not use that. You should not overdo. You should not give an exception, excuse also. What you can do, you can always, 8. Hare Krishna.
O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity so that we can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. Thank you, Mataji.
Very nicely, this is the most important thing which we should learn. I do not know how to do. Ask. Nothing wrong. Mataji, how can I do? Prabhu, how can I do? I asked. Right? When I accepted, the first thing I told is, Prabhu, I'm scared. Nothing wrong in being scared. Okay? I'm just telling you because sometimes we feel, we don't want to tell. Oh, I'm scared. Prabhu never has felt bad. You're scared. What is there to feel scared? I have said scared for even silly reasons. I have told even from Mayapur point, right? What is that? Isho Bhavan to Gita Bhavan. Initially, first time. Morning I have to pick up coupons. Right? I'm very scared to go that far. Of course, another Prabhu came and handed over the coupon. But the fact I'm telling you is nothing wrong in telling that. Right? But many times we will be, very worried in being honest. So the point is, ask them, give me a direction how I can go. How can I go about? Right? If the Bhakti vibe of fast track is so good, right? It's fully Ramanishta Prabhu. Because everything when I run past him, he will tell brilliant and he will also give an advice. Why can't you do like this? He never said you should do this. He will tell this. So even the timings, right? Prabhu only told. Right? I said, Prabhu, 2 hours will be done. This is so many things. He said, do one thing. Then, have it at 8. You'll finish at 9:30. So it's not too late. It's not too hectic. You can work 5 days a week. Today you can work like this. All this plan, right? Everything. Even the module we were running past, right? I said, Prabhu, this is how we are planning. He said, very good. Go ahead. Inform them this way. Give them a heads up. Teachers, right? Prabhu selected 5 teachers. He said, I want these 5 teachers, right? And I still remember the teachers, whomever he selected were like really good. I'm not telling we are excellent, but I'm just telling from Prabhu's judgment point of view, right? So all of that is the brain behind. So every time how he does. So the reason is you should always ask for direction, because asking for direction, even in English, even in the material world, they say 2 heads are better than 1. Nothing wrong. I still see Mohandas Prabhu, even though he's brilliant in admin work, he'll always ask, Mataji, is this fine? Can I do like this? Even to change a teacher, he will tell, like even today's schedule of class, Friday, we were short of teachers, right? Danish Imam is not there. Pran Prabhu is unwell. I might be traveling. So I told Prabhu, he was telling what I should do. He asked me, right? I said, Prabhu, I'm okay in taking Tuesday. Just see if the Tuesday teacher can shift to Friday. So why I'm telling you is, Prabhu would have anyways found an answer. But the fact is, he just thought he'll run past me so that, I can give him an idea. I can give a suggestion and then, we can take it. So it's always coordinated work, right? So you can always ask. Asking does not make you less. Asking someone an advice makes you even more humble. Because when you don't want to ask, is because you feel I'm the boss and I'm always right. But why do you ask? And same way, I've noticed this quality with Namnishta Prabhu. We will always ask. Prabhu will ask. He will tell Radhika, I'm thinking, I'll do like that. What is your opinion? And when you give a different opinion, he will consider that. It is not that he's just asking for namesake. I've seen one thing about Prabhu. He is genuinely humble. He doesn't project humbleness. Have you all noticed that? Many of them try to project to be humble. He doesn't project. He is just what he is and he is genuinely humble. Have you all observed that? Yes or no? So much of silence.
Yes, Mataji.
Please acknowledge.
You muted everyone, no, Mataji?
Otherwise, Prabhu will be thinking, oh my God, what happened? Of course, he's not here. I'm just telling. So we have to follow everything with a particular purpose, right? And the idea should not be for fame. It should not be like, I want to talk so much and I want to show off that I'm knowledgeable and therefore I present like this. It should not be like that. It should be genuinely telling that, okay, I want to do this because in my capacity, I will give the best. But the idea is also, as I said, within the capacity. I can't do something, I should not do it. Like I can't carry a weight, right? I won't be able to carry a weight. Nothing wrong in telling that, right? Take guidance and very clearly aim at a very clear spiritual progress, which also should not remind you of the worldly thing. When you're in a crowd, your spiritual progress may be excellent, but your people around you should not think Aresh is a failure. I'm not telling you should give up on everything. So suddenly, I'll quit my job, I'll come here. People will start thinking, what is wrong with this girl? What is wrong with this boy? At the stage is fine. I'm just telling at the beginning. So all this is very, very, very important. Right? So disciplinic succession, why weaving? Yeah, let's go to the next.
Translation. Lord Brahma said, my dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you and I desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. So father-son teaches two things. One is guru-disciple and also genuinely father-son. The relationship should be more from a surrender point of view. But most of the time, and the father says, right, I would like to bless you. The blessings are important for both you and your wife. But many times we in Kali Yuga don't believe in blessings. North India still they believe. South India zero. We don't have the habit of falling on the leg also. Very rarely we fall. I'm not telling this is great or this is bad, but I'm just saying that truth be told, blessings are very, 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 very important. Right now, curses don't work in Kali Yuga, but blessings work. Many times we highlight that curses don't work, but blessings definitely work, right? So that is something which we should work on. So now we saw the first 9. What did we see in the first 9? What was the topic which was covered in the first 9?
That we belong to a paramparic succession, we should follow. Yes.
Very nice. So disciplined succession we saw. We should follow. We should be humble. We should serve, and we should bring out our challenges, take their advice, and go on. Right now, we should also glorify the subordinate. All this we learned. Now we are going to see about what is a duty, what is what is divine, and all of that, which is going to cover. First half, which I think Mohandas Prabhu, if I'm right, till 12 verses, right? So we're talking about duty and devotion.
Yeah,
so the 10th verse, 12. Thank you so much. Human, what they are talking about is how can you be obedient? How yagna is important, and all that we are going to cover. How we can implement all of this in the house is also something which we can cover. 10th verse, please.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. He says he's calling him addressing Masida, right? So it is, of course, sometimes, when you read, you just get a feeling, wow, the son is listening, so the father is excited. That is true, which is more materially. But here Brahma is an elevated soul, right? So he's not addressing him as a son. Of course, definitely he's excited. Imagine Sanat Kumara telling bye bye Rudra, trying to create destruction. Others, no idea what they are doing, right? And therefore, at least, Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa are willing to listen and follow the preach, right? So it is very nice. But this is required for us. Adoration of superior is absolutely required, right? Because I think this was the topic we were talking, right? When Namnishta Prabhu appreciates you, something which we have to take it in the right spirit, not just the appreciation, but also criticism. Because when they actually appreciate or criticize, we get to know what is the judgment, what is their point, right? And this also should makes us understand that they are beyond envy and how we should play their part when we reach that position. When I'm telling that position, I'm not telling leader position. I'm telling that sometimes you have 4 followers also, you have leader. 4 students also, you become a leader. So even within the family, you become a leader. So therefore, it is extremely important that we actually appreciate. And when we get appreciation also, we accept it. We should not be like, no, I don't want it. I don't deserve it. I don't. The thing, you always should learn to tell thank you. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Many times I will tell you, you're amazing. No, Mataji, your handwriting is beautiful. No, Mataji, I would have written better. Here, okay. But many times in office also, no, when I tell you your handwriting is nice, they will tell I could write better. And we are a bunch of people who are continuously, cracking jokes, not criticism, but jokes. Right? So the first thing which will come and we mock them for fun is like, then write beautifully. No, why you stop? And they keep quiet. So the reason I'm telling you is, again, don't take it in a very critical, critic point of view. It's more from a fun exchange point of view. So the point is this kind of appreciation should be taken well. Criticism should also be taken well with the same mood. That is why Krishna says, right? Sitoshna siko dikkata hai. Heat or cold should be taken equally. If you see the 12th chapter, Krishna says one set of things are very cold, right? Very close to your heart. So anapeksha sudin daksha udasino gata vacha sarva ramba parityagi yomad bhakta same priya hai. That also is telling. Same way, if you see everything there, he is talking about everybody is with. Everything is about how you can treat, right? Mitra. I'm not getting into that particular verse, but Sitoshi Sukha, if you see, it's all talking about closeness, like treating in an equal level. Now, the previous Brahmas, they were talking about disobedience. So obviously, Brahma was mortified. And now Manu accepting gives a very contrast feeling, right? So obviously, the father will like, and how he is listening is very important. And the most important point which we should understand here is that when you are obedient, also one more thing is it's not only making you humble, it is also envy should be completely removed from your obedience. Otherwise, you will not be enjoying it, right? Manu's obedience actually is for us to understand that we are not envious. First thing you'll be thinking, why envy? We are all someone who should learn this. You know why? Why should we all learn about envy?
Because it's our nature to be envious.
We may feel we are not envious. We may think we are not envious, but if we are not envious, we will not be in this class, and we are envious, and we were envious about Krishna. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji. That's why we're in this material world.
We will never be able to accept this. We will tell that no, we may not agree whether we are humble, jealous, but I am not envious. At least I used to no way envy, but then why are we here if we are not envious? So we are, and we have been, just that we have not even realized. That's a larger challenge. Let's move on to the next verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performances of yajna. Hare Krishna.
So, since you're very, very obedient son, I want you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Very, very important point. He is very clearly understanding that the son is very qualified, and he's telling you should bring a son like you. This is the greatest appreciation. So if your father or your mother tells, I need a grandchild like you, normally what they tell, you should have a grandchild, but definitely should not be like you. Yes or no? Should not have anger like you. Should not have this like you. Most of the time they tell, or should not be envious like you. I'm just giving you examples. I'm not telling literally in that word they will tell, but some quality they will try and. But here they feel that Swayambhu Manu's picture perfect. Therefore, he said that this should be the case. So the rule of the world is basically devotional service onto Supreme Personality of God. That's why Krishna is called Yagna Purusha, right? some form of yagna we should involve. Because Krishna is the ultimate aim of life, right? So we saw that. So the ultimate point which we should do is we should involve the child indirectly, at least in some yagna. Not only as prasadam. It can be just get me a flower, or you can tell, hey, I'm very tired, so can you just fill some water for the altar, or can you offer prasad? These kind of things. Why I'm telling indirectly is the current generation, I think most parents are having a challenge in fixing their children. And most of them feel very sad that they are not able to bring their children on line of spirituality. But remember, when we were children, neither did we follow spirituality. Even if we followed at a very, very, not to the extent we are following now, right? So ideally, we should have done Garbo, done Samskaram, and I don't know any of you all who have done. I have a friend of mine, she's the only one to my knowledge who followed this, So we are not used to that style. So suddenly they are not used to us either. So overnight things don't change. So where at life we have to follow the varnashram system. Whatever is our varna, we follow that. Right? Whatever is our ashrama, we align to that. This becomes stepping stone because varna, where does Krishna tell that varnashram is important in Bhagavad Gita?
4.13.
Very nice. Chatur Karma. Yeah, complete, Mata. Go ahead.
Chaturvarnam
Chaturvarna Maya Shishta Guna Karma Vibhagasya. Yeah. So basically, Guna Karma based on that. So we are already given that. So therefore, we should follow that. Teach some principle in some way. It can be in any way. It can be a story form. Never get the attention by force. Don't tell you have to listen. Do this. Children will, reject. Bring it in a conversation. It can always be something. Right? So they will automatically sink in. If they don't follow today, they will follow when they reach your age, 30. When they reach your age, when you're 40, when they're 50. Krishna has taken charge of you, means your family. So you think Krishna will not take care of the family? He'll already take care of the family. And if you're a devotee, very clearly your generations are also taken care by him. So that is something that you can be rest assured. Last sloka for the day. Yeah, go ahead.
O King, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be the good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the Master of Senses will be very pleased with you.
So Krishna, what he's telling, okay, you give proper protection. So you look at what he's telling. The most important point is mother means love, father means, what is the role of the father?
Protection,
Mataji.
Very nice. Protection and
providing for everything.
Provision. Very nice. Providing and protection. And the king is the father of the world. Just like the king's wife is a mother, king is a substitute of the father. He is Raja Rishi, which means substitute of the Lord. Right? So therefore, he has to give proper protection to the living entities. He also has to provide for them. How can he provide for them? He has to provide for the body and the soul. Body, he will anyway take care, right? He will take care of the administration. He'll take care of what is required, flood time, how he can help. Soul by giving Krishna. So that is why, right? We see in Isha Upanishad what we are talking about. Very clearly, Atmaha, right? Just now we were talking about mother. Even if she's not giving protection or provision, nobody will feel bad, but she has to give love. They'll not tell that a mama has to give milk. Otherwise, they will tell it's wrong. Even now they tell. Same way, father, if he is not giving protection and not giving, if he's not providing, you all said, right? Rejected. Same way as the king. Same way as the leader. He has to project and provide for the entire kingdom. If he's not that, he is misfit for the role. Same way, Krishna very clearly in Isha Upanishad, what he says. He says that from, it is Asurya namate loka andena tam vrita samse pregyapi gachanti ekme atma manojana, something like that. Eke atma manojana. So it's like atma ha, right? That means killer of the soul. Now you may think, Mataji, it's contradictory. One side you are telling Nainam Chintanti Sastrani, Nainam Dati Pavaka, Nachainam Kledayanti Apo, Nasucheti Maruta, nothing can be killed. Now you are telling killer of the soul. How? Now you tell me how.
Because you're not following the rules, and then the soul will have to go take birth again in the lower species.
Yeah, very nice. So soul will be suffering by taking birth again and again. So you are not killing. See, sometimes you tell, you killed me by words. See, there is a statement in English, right? If I come and that means what? If you take a knife and poke me, it's so hurting. Same way, if you use words which are very sharp, that's also hurting. Like that, the soul needs Krishna, like food for soul. Otherwise, it starts hurting. So that pain is worse than killing the soul. That is what they are talking about. So king's training is to train. And speaking like, tell me the name of the kings who actually train the citizens to become worshippers of Vishnu.
Maharashtra to
Maharaj.
Parikshit
Very nice.
Parikshit also.
Very nice. Amrish as well. So all of these people, right? The whole administration system was focused on going back to Godhead. Today, the whole system is focused on falling into the drain. Right? Unfortunately, no. Seriously. Tell me, is there anywhere they're talking about spirituality? At least I'm glad. I think latest, we have a new CM who's at least come and brought in a lot of reformations in terms of every prasad counter should have expiry date. Every prasad bathroom should be made. Suddenly he's become, we have a film actor who's he's bringing a revolution. Right? So yeah, that's right. So, it's nice. Sometimes we will make mockeries. People somewhere who are jealous who make mockery, right? Why celebrity and all. It doesn't matter. End of the day, who's there? But are you trying to understand? So someone tries to fix the spiritual places, then automatically place will become clean, mind will become clean, the country becomes clean. Right? And we'll be head towards spirituality. That is why when Mimuni inaugurated Ram, so many people said, why so much money? Why so much milk used for, for what you call what is the need to...
Abhishek.
Yeah, Abhishek, right? Abhishek, what is the need to spend? But the fact is you need to spend for Abhishek. Why not? Who's stopping you from, why can't you give to poor? Who's stopping you from giving to the poor? Give to the poor. But many times, why you're focusing on this? Because these are required. Just like you have 2 children in the house, you take care of both the children, right? You don't, I don't like this child. Same way, you have to take care of Krishna, and that is your prime duty. Not that Krishna wants, it's for our own purification. So with this, I will continue the session to see the great hero Varaha.
Continue the story.
It is already 10:30 and my story will take 15 minutes. I know you all are not running out of time, but I'm running out of energy. So I will save the story of the revenge next time. I will start
all
with the
right.
story.
Tomorrow you have got a journey. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
He has stopped even the liquors and the non-veg shops in and around the temples.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that. I'm sort of not too good in news. So whatever here say. And also there was a query, Mataji, one of the Matajis had asked about Brahma, 100 years. Sarita Mataji, are you here? If you're sleeping, then I will probably tell when you're awake.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, my voice, you can't afford to sleep. It's the loudest voice. So it's very coarse, not coursey, coarse, CO. So now coming to Brahma. So there are certain timelines which are not very defined. Brahma meditated for 100 years. Brahma Samhita is coming up. A lot of disconnects are there from our point of view because our brain is very limited for us to understand. Let me give you a small example. Ajamila, when did it happen?
In
Satyuga.
What age did he?
90.
80 years.
80
years, Mataji.
80 years, right? Once again, what was the age of Satyuga?
1 lakh years.
1 lakh years.
So 80 years seems very less, no? 80 years seems big. But 80 years seems very less from that point of view. Same way, when many of these are more spoken from a general, with 100 as a number, more from an understanding perspective, because our mind can comprehend that. Right? Otherwise, you don't really stretch it to that extent. Same way, Brahma, 100 years of meditation, the point is he should be ideally dead. Right? How can he live another 100 years? Now, 2 things, death is controlled by Krishna, that is one. Second thing is, actually speaking, this number 100 is a very specific thing to this particular kalpa, but we do not know very clearly the timelines, though it is very clearly given, this is the life of Brahma, he did that. How he did, these are timelines which are very spoken more from an explanation point of view for our understanding. But if we try and put a logic behind this with our brain, right? 100 years he lived, okay. After that, how did he do another 100 years? Right? Same way, if you see Saraswati Vyak, He went and he ended his life. Did he commit suicide? No. What does it mean by he ended his life? Means he ended his mentality of thinking. So we have to end our materialistic life, we are telling. Doesn't mean we have to commit suicide. It means that our materialist way of thinking we have to end, right? So like that, the Brahma's 100-year, whichever is defined here, is more with respect to the fact that he did meditation and he got reformed and then he started with the creation. And also 2 episodes are happening. When Vak or Saraswati was ruling, when he went after he gave up the mentality, Chatur Shloka was not spoken. It was later. So first of all, it happened on a different kalpa, which means different day. Some even say it's a different Brahma. But this purity of Brahma came the moment Chatur Shloka came. So Chatur Shloka was spoken, and that is why Brahma Gaudiya Sampradayam, we are stressing on Chatur Shloka. Any Srimad Bhagavatam, they stress on Chatur Shloka. That is something which we have to follow. And after the Chatur Shloka is spoken, and after that, he gets purified, and then, he sees Krishna, and then Brahma Samhita comes up. Right? So he sees the two-handed form of Krishna and starts appreciating. So these are all directly linked to each other, one after the other episodes, right? So the 100 years duration is more from the fact that he meditated. Even Padma Kalpa, I told you. Padma, ideally first day itself, they should come. But if you see the book, it says that the first day or the first Kalpa is called Brahma Kalpa, where Brahma came, only Vedas got loaded. That means it's more like a software. It's all there in a very subtle way. Padma Kalpa only. So ideally, our theory says that first he has to be born. But that it is like, inside the womb. So it's just probably Brahma is like sleeping or, that's his first day. And day 2 is when Padma Kalpa is called. And Padma Kalpa comes in many places. Even the second half of the time, there is Padma Kalpa coming. Same way Varaha Kalpa comes on the second half, which is what is our time. So the timelines are defined, but it cannot be understood by our head. Too much of that. If you take simple Chaitanya Charitamrita, 500 years back also, mother kept in the stomach the child for 13 months, which is very difficult to understand. Then that itself is very difficult. Now, Kali, now how did Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, she kept for how many years she kept?
16 years.
No.
100 years.
100 years.
100
I
years.
cannot even imagine a mother keeping in the stomach for 100 years. How she did, I don't know. How she could do, I don't know. She must have been really spiritually very advanced that she was able to hold. Can someone hold the delivery point also? I don't know. Doctors are here.
Mataji, medically it is also so difficult.
You can't hold, right?
Possible only.
Medically, I know for sure.
We start checking on the baby.
Asanta will support will
I can vouch for that, Mataji, because I had a premature child. I had labor at 6 months.
Sukhdev also 16 years inside. Sukhdev Goswami also 16 years.
Yeah, Sukhdev Goswami 16 years. See, there at least Sukhdev never came out. Right. So I'm able to relate that the power of Sukadev parent, he could do that. But here, how the mother was holding twin.
She was having siddhis, Mataji.
Twins.
Exactly. So any mothers who have siddhis who have done that maybe can share their experience in the class. I am out of this. I am nowhere close to that. So, Hare Krishna. I could not retain for the 9 months only. So forget about
Yes, Mataji. Even me, all cesarean case.
Hariol. Thank you so much. Mancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav Jai Srila Prabhupada Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, do you remember I had served you prasadam when I came for inauguration?
Thank you, Mataji.
Do you remember I heard, but after that I did not hear. What did you say?
Do you remember I had served prasadam to you?
Of course I do. Your face is very familiar. I will remember.
Mataji, Radhika Mataji, to conclude, it means we can consider that as in a different kalpas, like age also could be different, or how do we
I don't
take
want
it?
to give a guess on that, but whatever I have understood from the senior acharyas are that they have actually explained only one thing, telling that many times when they say 100, may not literally mean 100 also. That is also an explanation. They say 100, it's not 100, it's hundreds one. Second thing is, even if kalpa changes, right? Kalpa means day. Kalpa does not, millennium also means day. So you're getting my point. So if you're telling different kalpa means you must be, I'm sure you're meaning it's probably in a different planet. I don't know what you're meaning that kalpa, because kalpa means just day.
Another millennium or like that.
Millennium also means day.
Okay.
Millennium also means day. Right?
You guys also day.
Yeah.
So Mataji, it is that one kalpa equal to time of 71 manus, right?
Excellent. 71 Manus, and that is basically your Divyas,
one
right?
day.
Four things, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So 1,000 years. So whichever way you're taking. But I'm just saying that's a standard thing. But how we meditated for 100 years, I know you want to fit into a number. Unfortunately, even I don't have a fitment here, but whatever I have heard is 100 years he meditated. That's a very, very long time, right? It is definitely, yeah. And after that, whether Krishna added some life for him to do how he worked, we don't know. But he appeared, and then after that, another 100 years he lived. So that is the max. Whether he exceptionally lived for 200 years, that also clarity is not there. But broadly, I'm saying.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you,
So,
Mataji. And one more thing you said, for the false ego thing we were discussing. So you were telling the three things, Mataji. One is like to get away from this, we can meditate like something happens, and it is my karma. And the other one is Lord is testing. And what is the another thing you said?
So one is karma, another one is Lord is testing, right? To go to Goloka, we should have that.
Yeah.
Third one I don't know whether I told today. Third one is always remember the other person is not in the same mode. 14th chapter. Right? So you are dealing with somebody who may not be in the same mode. See, I expect, okay, for example, I'm sorry, Mataji, I'm taking your name. I assume that she's serving prasadam. I expect her in a certain way to put it properly on my plate. What if she shoves it on my plate? I may get irritated. Yes or no? I will get irritated, but it can also be because one is my karma, one is she may have some grudge with me. Ideally, she should not, because she's a student, Bhakti Vaibhav student, but not necessarily she should be in my mode. Na? I'm just trying to boss off, assuming I'm in mode of goodness. I should also think that girl may not be, or that boy may not be in the same mode. They may be one mode lower, passion or ignorance, right? So do you want to get down to that mode, or do you want to maintain your level? Your choice.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
What is
very
what?
nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I would
maintain.
in corporate world, I tell one thing, and I would like to tell this to you. How many how many dogs barked at you today in the road when you went?
Yeah, got it, Mataji. Understood.
Yeah.
You
So
not
people
do
used to, yeah. So bosses, everybody will bark. So do you want to really get down to that? So that is all I will tell. So if you feel the answer is no, then don't have to bark. It might irritate you. I'm not saying we are still elevated to that level. We are still into that level. But can we not react? Can we respond? Can be any kind of response, but don't react. How can you do this to me? Gone. You know what? She's in level 0 in tamasic quality. If you react, you're in tamasic quality. She's shouting at me. My face goes like, unfortunately, people like me, my face will anyway go. That is fine. But what I'm telling you is deliberately, I don't have to do all that. Na? See, what naturally comes is fine. But naturally, I can keep my mouth shut. That I can control it. Right? Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Krodha Vegam, I can't. But at least Vacho Vegam, I can control. First step. Then we can think. Then 2-3 days, then you'll think this girl is silly or this Prabhu is silly. Right? Subha Mataji is not willing to serve prasadam for me. Maybe it's my karma. Or maybe something I did, she's angry. Or I may think I've never done anything. Maybe she misunderstood me. Or maybe I will finally come to a conclusion telling her, forget it here. I'm not worth to break my head. You can even disown that particular person in your head. I'm not telling it's the right thing, but it is for one level at least better for us rather than to see things. Is that okay?
Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mataji.
I'm also learning as I'm teaching. I will also, mentally we will go through sometimes weeks together, months together. Like how Mataji told, I'm serving prasadam for you. Today I will feel very nice. Mataji is serving prasadam. ISKCON Mangaluru, many of you all bring in the plates. Very sweet of you all. You all know I come late. Okay, now worst case, Egadsi, I don't break fast. Namnesha Prabhu has come and told you break your fast. I'll tell yes, Prabhu. Okay, twice he went and told, go and break your fast. I said, okay, we didn't have time. We were running behind the temple. Prabhu brought it up and he gave the food by his hand, right? So all that when we are used to, sometimes we may go to another temple where somebody will be even telling why you took 2 laddu. I'm just giving an example, not that you'll take. Or they will tell, why you packing food? No, I don't have time. Don't pack. We don't have the policy. You are not eating. Don't eat. People like that may talk politely in the name of polite or in the form of rules. Right? Immediately what happens? We will get upset or we may feel, I am someone where, people are serving food or, sorry, exact 2 minutes I call it. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, hold on. So I may feel that somebody is not giving prasadam or I may feel this is very mean, or I may also feel, egoistic, telling that people are feeding me. I think in the yatra, I didn't have time. I didn't have my breakfast or lunch, and then one Mataji literally was feeding me at 4 o'clock. And then somebody may even comment, no manners this Mataji is having. Now Minister Prabhu is sitting there and she's feeding, and she's being fed. Right, happens sometimes. So I don't see so much of decency or courtesy. But I'm just saying, when you have this kind of experience, right? We are in a beautiful world of ISKCON Mangaluru. We will not experience the same thing outside. So how do we manage all these three things? Which immediately we may get upset, we may get angry, we may show face, we may be upset. We may not show face, but it might come in our face. But go back and think, is it worth it? And if this person is going to make our level from goodness to, instead of going to Suddha Sattva, brings us down, she may not be even worth, or he may not be even worth it. Do you agree to me?
Yes,
I'm not
Mataji.
telling go humble and fall out of faith. Is it worth it? Right? In our journey to Goloka, where Balram is the pilot.
Mataji, actually, whatever you said, in fact, that is what Krishna explains about one who has transcended these three modes. Like he'll be indifferent to, and he sees us only that gunas are acting, and can relate to it.
I'm not able to take it there because inside that should be the thought, but may not be the thought. But I'm just telling, at least from outside, can we get to that? That is all I'm saying. What Krishna is telling is you should not have disturbance, but what he told, you will have disturbance, you will come think in the night, you may not sleep 1 week, you may be, when you're doing japa, you will be thinking, because we are still in the material world. But can we at least stop reacting outside? That is all I'm saying. Going to gunas, not acting Traigunya Vishavika is the next level. We will head there. Okay, but to catch the flights, this is a visa requirement. We will meet the visa requirement. Boarding the flight requirement is what she told, Mataji. Is that okay? We'll all practice that. Yeah, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Before I wind, just this
happy journey, Mataji, and
Thank
send
you
us
so
the
much, Hare
photos.
Krishna.
Can I stop the live stream?